Greetings, Elimination. My name is Monique Pressley, and I am back with you for another edition of The Week with Monique. If I had to describe for you the issue of the week this week, I would have to take it back to our days as kids, where maybe we had gone to a circus or a carnival or two, and when we walk in, there's a man with a big hat, some funny outfit, saying, "Step right up, step right up." Except for this week, he'd be saying, "Come get your pardon. Pardon's for sale. You can have a pardon for the low price of $1 million. Cut your check and get your friend or your loved one out of jail free." That's exactly what's been happening this week as we start rattling off the names of people that the current occupant of the White House has decided to pardon. And with a huge departure from prior years, even from his own prior administration, none of the rules that used to apply, none of the guidelines, none of the guardrails for how we determined pardons are applicable anymore. It seems that they are quite literally available to the highest bidder. Of course, you've got to be all MAGA all the time, and you got to put your money where your mouth is. So this week, we saw people who were fraudsters, we saw people who were tax evaders, we saw people with serious offenses, and they all really only had a couple of things in common. They had pledged fealty and loyalty to Trump and the MAGA brand, and they were willing to pay the price. Now, gone are the days when people like the pardon attorney under President Biden actually had standards and people submitted their applications for pardons, and frankly, many people who we would argue deserved pardons didn't get them. Elizabeth Oyer this past week explained what the pardon process is supposed to be like and why it matters.
There is a process that is in place and has been in place for a very long time for applying for a presidential pardon. And the reason this process exists is to ensure that the pardon power is not totally politicized and corrupted in the manner that is happening now. There is an office, the Office of the Pardon Attorney, which is dedicated to reviewing and vetting applicants for pardons. Individuals from around the country who are seeking presidential pardons apply through the office, wait their turn for their application to be vetted, and the office makes a very thorough and comprehensive recommendation in every single case to the president. Those are ordinary Americans who are going through that process, and many of them are actually very deserving of the relief that's provided by pardons. They include individuals who were sentenced under mandatory minimum laws that are now defunct, that no longer exist. Many of them are serving life sentences in prison, and many of them have demonstrated that they have earned a presidential pardon through exemplary conduct and character in years and years that have passed since their convictions. All of that has fallen by the wayside under the current administration. There is no process that's being followed, and it appears to require some sort of inside connection or access or willingness to pay to be able to obtain the benefit of a presidential pardon.
What, if anything, is illegal, even for a president?
Well, unfortunately, the pardon power is very unconstrained. The president does have the constitutional power to pardon anyone that he chooses. And for that reason, it's very important that this process is followed so that it's not totally corrupted in the way that it is now. The Department of Justice has a comprehensive, detailed set of guidelines in place that it follows or is supposed to follow in recommending pardons to the president. And I can tell you that there is not a single person who has received a pardon from President Trump who meets those criteria that apply in ordinary times. And President Trump has appointed a pardon attorney who has demonstrated that he does not feel bound by those decades and decades of guidance that have always applied. Ed Martin is the first political appointee ever to occupy the position of pardon attorney, which has historically always been occupied by a career employee of the Department of Justice.
Now, If you understand anything about the pardon process, then you know that pardons were given as discretionary to the president. Can't argue with that. But the reason was so that if there was a circumstance where the justice system was not doing its job the way that it was supposed to, where the laws had changed from the time where someone was found guilty and incarcerated and would now be being held in being imprisoned for things that are not even a crime or things that carry much less of a sentence than at the time that they were sentenced. Pardon power exists so that if there are circumstances that go beyond the norm, where someone has done such a wonderful and serious job of rehabilitation and of giving back to society and paying their debts to society and showing remorse, for those people to be able to experience the forgiveness that is a pardon. The pardon power exists so that where there were injustices, that if the appellate system did not do what it was supposed to do, that the president and the president alone would have the discretion to use this huge power in order to right a wrong. This power has been used by every president in recent history, and certainly there have been times where we all may have disagreed with one decision or another, but never has there been a time where we look at the pardons and there's no admission of wrongdoing. There's no serving at or near full sentence. There's no paying the fees that they're supposed to pay and paying their debt to society. There's no commitment to reform or to changing of ways and a demonstration of that through role in community. Where all of these things are missing and where these people jump ahead of the thousands of people who actually deserve to no longer be incarcerated. Yes, for people who are mentioning it, a couple of the people who were pardoned, members of the Black community, and people are saying that this is to try to attract young Black men and to create more slippage than there already has been, even though it is completely an overblown data statistic in the first place. But people are saying that this is the Trump administration and MAGA's attempt to draw even more. Let's forgive a rapper who is about to get out of jail anyway, and let's pardon somebody who still has 200 plus years to serve on a state sentence and is never going to see outside of the prison walls, but let's do it for show. And that's exactly what it is. Don't be fooled. It's not just that they're doing this while at the same time rolling back consent decrees, while at the same time making it easier for police to commit wrongful actions and to have poor conduct and not be punished for it, while they're basically gutting to the point of non-existence the civil rights division that is responsible for ensuring at the federal level that civil rights laws are applied. They just did all of that week before last, and here they come with like a trinket, throw something at you. And one of my favorite shows, Bridgerton, Lady Danbury turns to one of the other characters. A couple of times she does the same thing. She says, "It would be a fool to do XYZ. Are you that fool?" Well, I'm saying to you, it would take a fool to believe that this racist, white supremacist, wannabe authoritarian administration actually cares about the Black community because a couple of people get pardoned in a way that is not significant to the community at all. Are you that fool? I surely hope not, because meanwhile, Black and brown people are still over incarcerated, disproportionately over incarcerated. Black and brown people, men especially, are much more likely to be stopped, searched, frisked, arrested, charged, assaulted, killed at the hands of law enforcement wrongfully. We're looking at over 12,000 wrongful convictions a year by conservative estimates. Over 12,000 people who are wrongly convicted. largely black men, brown men, each and every year by this justice system. So let's not be fooled with these trinkets. Let them eat cake. Let's see it for what it really is. This administration has no commitment to civil rights laws, to equal justice under the law. They have no commitment to it. Their commitment, in fact, is the opposite. We see it in the way that the immigration rules and regulations are being handled under Trump 2.0. We see it in the steps that are being taken to deteriorate civil rights in Trump 2.0. We see it in the way that they are seeking to get rid of all fair voting laws and the departments that hold precincts accountable. It's all happening right in front of us. It's all happening while we watch. It's all happening perhaps while we wonder, what is it that we can do about it? So I'm going to end by telling you the same way I always tell you. Vote. Make sure everyone you know is registered to vote. Become involved in local politics. All politics is local, yes, but the decisions now on the local and state level mean more than ever before, because we cannot count on our federal government, especially the executive branch, and Congress is not much better. The only people who are actually holding their weight right now in the checks and balances system is the judicial branch. We can't count on the federals. We can't count on our centralized government to do the things they're supposed to do, keep us safe, adhere to the law, administer law fairly. None of those things are happening anymore. So get involved on the local level with your school board. Go to your council meetings. Pay attention. Speak up, speak out. You'd probably be surprised to know in most of the counties in this country, the sheriff or the head law enforcement officer is elected. Do you know who yours is? Did you even vote? If you voted, did you vote for that particular election? These are all the things that are going to matter in the days to come. Till next time, subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my friend Don's channel where you're already watching. I don't take it lightly that I get an opportunity to come to you each week and give you a thing to pay attention to, but every day of the week, Don is giving you a thing and a thing and a thing that you need to know. Till next time, stay safe out there.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.